You know what? Even though my channel is primarily for video game and cartoon reviews, I haven't released a single one yet. Also, I've been playing way too many lame old kiddie games recently. I mean, sure, Nintendo's cool, but I need to play a hardcore game for my first full-length review. I need something tough. I need something gritty. Something that'll make everyone understand that my channel is only for the toughest, most hardcore games. And I know exactly which game I need to choose. You know, why do I even have this game? One day I was just searching through an older pile of games and wham! World of Zoo. I mean, I did like animals when I was younger, but really? This game? I am very disappointed in you, past me. World of Zoo is a Wii game that was originally released on Steam on October 26, 2009 in North America. The game was published by Blue Fang Games, who you might know from creating the acclaimed Zoo Tycoon games. And if these guys created such a good game, we must be in good hands, right? Unfortunately, after this game, all the company really went on to do was make iOS and Facebook games until they were disbanded in a contract from Microsoft. You know, that company that just loves ruining the careers of good developers since 2002. Either way, can this game live up to the expectations set by their original games? Well, let's find out. After that pretty ugly opening cutscene, we get to this file select screen. Of course, since past me was an idiot, I actually unlocked every single animal in the game. But I decided that for the sake of this video, I better start from scratch. Anyway, I decided to create my own new zoo, and they asked me to pick my starting animal. We better choose wisely, since we're stuck with it until we get enough money to replace it. I went with crocodiles, since crocodiles are awesome. I mean, what could go wrong? Ah! Please stop! Please stop! It hurts so bad! Anyway, the starting animal is named Stumpy, which is stupid, but you can edit the animal at any time. I decided to rename him Killer Croc, but since I ran out of space, Killer Crow it is. And now we get to the super amazing in-depth gameplay of doing almost nothing. Basically, you get 3 different tab menus of foods, toys, and tools. You feed the animals with foods, let the animals play with the toys unless you want to deprive them of fun, and you do stuff that zookeepers should be doing, like, I don't know, actually taking care of the animals with the tools. From here, the game gets pretty boring. Your animal can't die of starvation or sickness, so there's no real objective except getting the animals to like you. When they're happy, they give you hearts, which are needed to level up, which gives you more stuff. After I leveled up, I got some stuff and the ability to add in a second animal. His original name was Scary, but that name isn't scary at all. I went with a much scarier name, Spooks. Be careful, he's pretty spooks. Anyway, we then got foods that are basically reskins of other foods in the game, new toys that are also basically reskins, and new tools that surprisingly aren't reskins. One of the tools is the medical scanner, which basically leads into one of the main problems of the game. The animals move way too much. Seriously, what kind of crocodile acts like this? And the medical scanner, which is basically required in order to do well in the game, requires pinpoint aiming, and with the animals moving so much, it takes you like 80 seconds just to use it once. After my next level up, I got pretty bored with the crocodiles. Besides the fact that they attack me for no reason, they act more like dogs than they do crocodiles. And honestly, the game got pretty repetitive. It was basically just me trying to get my animals to eat stuff and play with their toys in order to farm hearts, and it just got boring way too fast. There are these stupid achievements that give you star tokens that you need to buy new animals, but they take so long to get that I just gave up. And while there were other things to do, they were so trivial and pointless that I didn't even feel like doing them. Basically, I just gave up and deleted my file. Goodbye, Spooks. maybe someday we'll meet again in a game that's, replayable. After the crocodiles, I played around a bit more by creating a new account and using the big cats this time, but I basically just gave up and recorded the rest of the footage on my other account. Why did I give up so fast? Well, maybe it's because every single animal is exactly the same. No unique twists for each animal, no minigames for the same animal. Heck, some of the animals act the same. The only differences are purely aesthetic. I mean, sure, the toys and food are reskinned, and some of the animals have a unique toy, but from here, every single animal is almost identical to the next animal, except for tiny differences, like the bear coming up to me in one of these happy moments and shattering the fourth wall, and these unique playsets that your animals will play on once in a blue moon. In this game, all you really do is grind for hearts by attempting to feed and play with these hyperactive zoo creatures who all act identical. Since every animal acts the same, there's no incentive to unlock the other animals, and I'm left basically playing the same boring game, but with constant reskins. Also, I should probably mention that every animal has a nursery mode, where the formula works like this. Less space, plus only baby animals, plus nothing to work towards, plus limited toys, food, and supplies, plus watered down gameplay equals a completely boring mode. The aesthetics of the game are alright, with some of the later animals actually looking cute. For a Wii game, the graphics look pretty good. The music is also pretty good, with 3 unique music tracks for each animal, which you can change at any time. But overall, what kills the game for me is the one aspect you should always put first in a game. The gameplay. There's a reason why I gave the crocodiles the most coverage, because after them, I was basically playing the same game for 2 more hours. The worst part is, when I get bored with this game so quickly, you can only imagine how quickly the kids this game was made for must have gotten bored with it. But when you critique a kid's game, you must always remember the number one rule of critiquing a kid's game. It's a kid's game. No matter how annoying this is, you must always remember how young the kids playing this will be. I might get bored of the repetitive gameplay, but kids will probably love all the different animals. I hated the fact that it took so long to get money, but honestly, it's a lot easier to play with the cuter and slower animals first, which are probably the ones that most kids would pick first. But even so, we can't forget that this lack of originality is coming from the guys who made Zoo Tycoon, who took a completely unoriginal idea and gave an original and fun twist on it. I mean, sure, it might have been tedious at times putting down those individual tiles, but it was all worth it when you got to unleash your creations upon the tourists that came into your park. And when you get right down to it, when this game was made by the people who took a bland and unoriginal idea and made it into an immersive zoo simulation game, is it really too much for me to expect a much more creative product? Overall, I just wish there was more to do in this game, like training animals for shows, or playing with the animals, or seeing customers enjoying your zoo, or taking a page out of Zoo Tycoon and letting out your anger by slaughtering millions of children by releasing your monstrous beasts. So in conclusion, this game, with good presentation but overall sluggish and repetitive gameplay, gets a mediocre 58 out of 100. The expression "it's for kids" doesn't excuse the boring and repetitive gameplay this game brings to the table. Maybe if you had a couple of kids aged 3 to 6 who can actually use a Wii and love animals, then this game could be worth about $20. But for anything less, the gameplay is unfortunately too bad to ignore and will ultimately ruin your experience with this game. Wow. Did I really just write a 5-page script panning a game intended for young children? I feel like both a jerk and a waste of space at the same time.